Listen, I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, oh, this is a little weird. And you're right. This is a little weird. I am currently in an excruciating amount of pain because for some reason my period has started when it is not supposed to. I am taking medication to not have periods because my hormones are super weird and my body kind of wants to kill me. Like, my body's hormones want to kill me. So, I'm not supposed to have periods, and when I do, they're super, super painful. Like, I throw up and stuff, and I am currently in a lot of pain, but this news is super breaking, so I kind of super really have to, I really have to do this, so I can't go over to my desk and use my VTube model just because I'm just in a severe amount of pain. So you're just gonna have to deal with this. Now, the second question you might be asking is, why does the audio sound like I am underwater? Well, you see, I can't plug in my good mic on my kitty ear headset on my desk because I don't have the right plug to put it into my tablet that I'm filming. It's not exactly amazing quality, the one I have, but it works, right? The one I have normally for making videos, which is what I'm using to film, it's like, the tablet's like 5 years old, but it works fine, so, you know. So, I am using my old pair of headphones instead of my kitty ear headset that I have as a mic. Like, it's gonna sound a little muffled, it's gonna sound a little weird. I'm gonna try to clean it up as much as I can, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be, right? I'm poor, so I don't have a good camera, and I also don't have a good mic. Now, the third question you might be asking is, what am I wearing? What is going on? I don't want my face on the internet. I would like to protect my anonymity. So, I had the stuff I usually wear at a Ren fair sitting nearby, so it was easily accessible for me to put on and be able to protect my anonymity instead of using my VTuber to protect my anonymity. So, that's the situation. That's why I look like this. That's the whole thing. Now, the fourth question you might be asking is, why in the world am I making this video? You saw the title, and so I'm going to talk about it. I am in so much pain, so you are going to have to bear with me, okay? I feel like right now, tearing out my uterus with my bare hands would be less painful than what I am experiencing right now. It's really bad. Curling up into the fetal position sounds pretty nice right now, but this is breaking news, and this is super important, and I really, really, really wanted to get it out there. Now, let's talk about it. I don't have a script for the first time in ever because because I didn't have time for the script, and that's because this is, like, I can't believe I missed this news the first time around. It is absolutely bizarre. I don't have a script, but I have the proper resources at hand, and I will post everything down below in the description like I always do, so for you to check out yourselves, and I implore you to go check it all out, especially with this particular video. Now, this video is about the Nashville Zoo, and because the Nashville Zoo is in a lot of danger right now. There is a data center being proposed to go right next to the Nashville Zoo, an AI training data center right up next to it. And if you know anything about giant AI data centers, you know that this is really, really, really bad to be right next to a zoo. AI data centers pollute, not only suck up a lot of water, they also produce a lot of pollution. They also use up a ton of energy. So I'm going to read you parts of this article that is on the Nashville Zoo website. This was posted June 8, 2026. It's late June now. This is happening in Pride Month. I can't believe it. This is from a while ago, but this is still important because the Nashville Zoo was able to halt the building of the data center for now, but they haven't been able to raise enough efforts to completely stop this data center from being built. So this article says AI data centers are being built at an alarming pace, posing possible risks to diverse and vulnerable communities. The next one could be located just feet away from one of the most fragile and rare collections of animals in the country. This is true. The Nashville Zoo houses a lot of critically endangered species and critically endangered species breeding programs, which I will get into more detail later to just show you the sheer magnitude of this issue. At Nashville Zoo, our top priority is to protect our precious animals and their environment. We are equally committed to the health and safety of our visitors, staff, and neighbors living nearby. Yet, with no regulations or safeguards in place, DC Blocks and Atlanta-based AI company intend to build a 69,000 square feet data center on land abutting the zoo. We vehemently oppose the proposed data center and are asking for your support. The zoo obviously can't oppose mega corporations alone. Something super hard that it takes a vicious battle to really stop. According to the public permit, which is it's publicly what they want to build there, the data center would span 1.6 acres under one roof on a 23.5 acre lot, with 2 more of those buildings planned, as well as a substation and support structures using at least 50 megawatts of power. And they give you some stats on this. That amount of energy consumption is equal to 30,000 to 50,000 single family homes. That's like That's like powering all of LA, baby. Like, that is crazy. Now, Tennessee is known for, of course, its nuclear power and its dam power with the Oak Ridge nuclear power plants and stuff. But that's still a lot of energy. That's a crazy amount of energy. You know what that energy could go to? More cost-effective living. We're struggling out here, man. I can't even find a job. No one will hire me. No one will hire me. Obviously, that amount of power will substantially drive up the pricing to live in Nashville. And it's already super tough to live anywhere. So driving up those costs, unlivable. Tennessee is allowed to pay people $7.25 as minimum wage. Some states put their minimum wage up, but Tennessee is not one of those places, alright? So, this article says that this data center is going to have noise pollution, light pollution, water pollution, and air pollution, and a whole lot of it. And all of that is super, super bad for endangered animals that are already struggling to survive, right? And their breeding cycles are going to be disrupted by the light pollution. That's actually a pretty big thing. The zoo has 3,000 animals. That's a lot of animals. Here it says constant noise from cooling systems and generators, and light pollution from bright security and operational lighting can dramatically affect animal behavior, disrupting their natural photo periods and rhythms. Stress on the animals from these factors can be detrimental to our conservation efforts, especially our clouded leopard breeding program, which the Nashville Zoo is houses one of the only clouded leopard breeding programs. It's very helpful with big cats. The clouded leopard is critically endangered, if you didn't know. But really, how bad really is this data center? Everything on this article is hypothetical. Well, turns out Tennessee already has, right over in Memphis, Tennessee, known for you might know it for its Elvis and its Bass Pro Shop Pyramid, which is over there. It really, really, really sucks to live in Memphis right now. Because a few years ago, I think it was 2024, a huge XAI data center built to train Grok AI, Mecha Hitler, was put up in Memphis, illegally, by the way, and it's still there, and it is absolutely destroying Memphis environmentally. So let me pull up a study done on how the mega data center has affected Memphis. You ready for this? On June 5th, 2024, the Greater Memphis Area Chamber announced that XAI, Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company, would establish the world's largest supercomputer facility, Gigafactory of Commute. Listen. AI has done nothing good for us. It has successfully convinced its users to kill themselves and shoot up schools. If you don't believe me, you can look that up. It's pretty easy to find. People say they use it for therapy, but the AI is much more likely to get you to kill yourself than it is to help you. Which is pretty awful. It's also permeated the spread of misinformation and, of course, is sucking up all our clean water. Now, Ray Like Sunshine said that completely opposing AI was not the solution, and that we are dependent on AI now, that it's always going to be here, so we should use it anyway. And that is wrong. Like, he compared it to cars, that we hate them and they cause pollution, but we need them. And that is wrong. We don't need to use AI. It does not need to be in our browsers. We do not need to go to it and use it. We don't need to use it on our resumes. We don't need it, alright? There is no point in time in which we absolutely have to use AI. Never. At some point in my college experience, I had to choose a argumentative topic to explore and write an essay on, and I chose the children's use on if AI could help children with therapy or their loneliness, and it was horrific what AI has, how much AI has pushed children to kill themselves and also isolated children. AI seems to be like, it's like a predator. It tells you everything you want to hear. It isolates you from the outside world. And it degrades your mental health. And so you think you're dependent on it. And then, it hurts you. So it's really not good. But let's see what the data centers do, because this is the important topic. Sorry, I got off on a tangent there. It's 11:30 at night, by the way. This is just breaking news, so I really needed to get this out. Now, there's something I need to address. Memphis is a really poor area, and also it's a mainly black area. So, of course, Elon Musk built this giant polluted data factory on top of poor black land. They can't do anything, right? They just have to suffer the pollution, which is horrible. Like, this is obviously exploitative, right? Obviously. But let's continue. It says here that one of the most pressing concerns regarding the development and operation of the AI facility is its failure to secure the necessary permits and its plan to operate 15 to 20 gas turbines, not wind turbines, gas-powered turbines, continuously. Gas turbines. It's like running 1 million gas-powered cars constantly. That really fucks up the environment. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about. I've already said some pretty dark stuff, but I don't have to censor myself, cause I don't like demonetization doesn't exist for me, cause I don't get any money from YouTube. So, The Environment Protection Agency, or the EPA, has recently acknowledged the issues of gas turbines and the need for stricter monitoring of nitrogen oxide levels, as this pollutant significantly contributes to smog, which contains ground-level ozone and particulate matter. That means basically the stuff coming out of your car that's super harmful to the environment, and you've seen up there in the ozone layer how our cars super pollute that. Imagine breathing, like going outside and breathing the stuff that comes out of your car's gas pipe every day, all day. That's awful! That's awful for your lungs. Absolutely horrible. Smog can irritate the respiratory system, leading to symptoms such as coughing, throat irritation, and shortness of breath. Obviously. Right? Like, those are the obvious. That's pretty obvious. For individuals with pre-existing conditions like asthma or chronic bronchitis, smog can exacerbate symptoms. Like, this article is putting it in, this study is putting it in a very nice way, but basically what this is saying is that it's really gonna fuck up your respiratory system. Like, you're going to have asthma. If you walk outside, you're gonna have an asthma attack. You might die if you have asthma and you're in this place. And of course, you can get asthma by being in a horrible environment. Now, this is an anecdote, but I know someone from college who had asthma, but they'd gone years without needing their inhaler. But they took a class trip to England, and everyone there smoked. Like, everyone there smoked a whole lot, and there was also, like, a type of tree there they ended up being super allergic to. So they ended up in a hospital in Britain. Luckily, healthcare there is free. Because, and they came back, and they needed an inhaler, like, all the time. Their asthma got so much worse because of all the smoking over there. I can't imagine having to breathe in, like, the smoke your car produces all day, every day with asthma. You're cooked! You're cooked! Now, Memphis, over the decades, a little history lesson, has constantly been fucked over by large pollution-given factories, which increases the rate of asthma, by the way, and obviously health problems. There are 3 main organs you need in your body. That's your brain, and your heart, and your lungs. Your lungs are super important. If you have asthma, you can struggle to do everyday things. Even walking can sometimes be a chore. Running, definitely. Any sort of exercise or moving objects, depending on how severe your asthma is, it can get pretty bad. Now, I'm gonna give you something really crazy. Memphis accounts for 94% of the 66 million total tons of 6 criteria air pollutants. Memphis is so fucked. Guys, come on. We all know that's bad. We all know that's bad. Not only is that bad, that's crazy. 94 of the country's pollutants, 94%, video, I talked about when it comes to tens and thousands, even a few percents could mean like thousands of animals or things or people. On the flip side, also 94% is a lot, but that's also a lot. Come on, like, it has severe air quality problems. It is done for. I'll have to look into it further, but those foxes in Memphis are probably super sickly. All animals there, including humans, are probably struggling and super sickly. Yeah, that's really sad. Needless to say, the majority of people living in Memphis have asthma and lung cancer. That's not shocking. And these are poor black families. Way to kick them while you're down. Come on, what are you... This is awful. Now, an important thing to note here is XAI is in Memphis illegally. They are putting out emissions that it's illegal to put out as much emissions as they are in Memphis. They're currently operating there as of 2026 illegally. They don't have the permits and they don't have the right regulations. And Tennessee's regulations for stuff, it looks like, for pollution is really low. Those are low bars to hit. Man, this is just sadder and sadder the more I read into this. Now, Memphis has a weird clay aquifer that makes their water quality super, super good. The issue is the XAI data center needs 1.5 millions of gallons of water a day. What are we doing here, guys? And this is just for Grok AI. This is just to feed Elon Musk's kid, Mecha Hitler. You know, the Bible warns about greed. This is the greed from the Bible, alright? 1.5 million gallons. I personally wouldn't want Mecha Hitler taking up 1.5 million gallons of gas. Now, if you didn't know, AI data centers, that's just for the AI. It's not running anything else for the company except that damn AI. Now, the problem with XAI being directly linked to Memphis's good water is that it could easily and very quickly contaminate and pollute that good water by using up the water filters, like the clay water filters, really quickly and really easily. And also it's not foolproof. A bunch of contaminants slip through, including arsenic. Arsenic kills people, guys. Arsenic you shouldn't drink that. You really shouldn't drink that. Now, not to say anything too doomerish, but, Grok's power center that does nothing good for the world. It's the power it uses up severely puts a strain on Memphis's system, so there could be a lot of blackouts. And with the blackouts, the water filters stop working, so people have to like boil water to be able to drink it or shower in it. One knockout from something of the power grid because of how much, like it's 150 megawatts that Grok AI uses, could completely make everything go dark for days. That's really bad. We don't want to leave people in the dark. Frequent power outages happen in Memphis. Like, they happen all the time now because of XAI. They shouldn't have to deal with that. They shouldn't have to have all those power outages even without the extreme weather. So, what does this have to do with Nashville Zoo? Well, if Memphis is having extreme power outages, imagine, like, it's really bad. Have you ever seen Jurassic Park when the power gets shut off? It's really bad for a zoo to have power outages, especially frequent power outages. That's just not good. That's pretty bad. Zoos should be able to have good access to electricity to be able to make sure all their animals are cared for and are safe. And Nashville also doesn't have the same great water filter that Memphis does. So we really, like, polluted water inside your body is really bad. It can kill you pretty quickly. And most animals are small, so it can kill them quickly. Once again, arsenic in water, that's like... And as for air pollution, the zoo will get the brunt of it because it would be right next to the AI facility. And animals, they have smaller lungs. A lot of animals have smaller lungs than humans have, so their lungs get damaged at a quicker rate than humans. That's why I always feel bad when I see people smoking and walking their dog and stuff, or if people smoke inside with their pets or animals, because, you know, a person damaging their own lungs is one thing, but they're also involving innocent animals in that as well. And their lungs are a lot smaller than humans are. And they'll get affected. Well, you know, obviously, smoking is bad, as well as vaping. Even if you vape just flavors, that permanently damages your lungs. How do I know this? I am taking a psychology class right now. There is a huge section on drugs, both the physiological and mental effects of drugs. So, you're gonna have to trust me, bro. I'm taking a class on it. It's going to damage human lungs, of course, at the same rate. But animals have smaller lungs. A lot of animals have smaller lungs, not all animals, and therefore not as much lung capacity to work with. So that could super harm them. That's super bad. Also, I didn't learn this in psychology class. I just researched this. Human drugs are so deadly to animals. If animals eat nicotine, that's a death sentence, as well as marijuana or vapes. If they ingest any of that, it's a death sentence. It's like they die. It's really bad. Of course, humans shouldn't eat nicotine either. Eating nicotine is also deadly to you. Immediately deadly. The other stuff is like slowly killing you. You know what I mean. How do I know that eating nicotine is immediately deadly to people? I watched Apothecary Diaries. That's how I know. Source: Apothecary Diaries. Now, I'm going to list all of the endangered and critically endangered species. Endangered and critically endangered are two separate things. I'm going to talk about all of the endangered and critically endangered animals Nashville Zoo has, just so you're able to see how this AI data center is going to affect the zoo. Like, if the zoo goes, all of these animals go as well. Extinction is forever. They'd be completely gone. Some of these animals would be completely gone if not for this zoo and not for its current efforts. So I'm just going to go through what they have. They have the eastern hellbender. So this species, they are salamanders. And these salamanders are, sorry, there's a car going. I don't know if you can hear it. I live right next to an interstate. Amazing for filming, I know. These eastern hellbenders, are native to eastern Tennessee. So they're state natives, and they're also endangered. They live in Tennessee's waterways. Oh, what's going to happen to Tennessee's waterways? Oh, they're going to be polluted by the stupid AI data center. And they're also super hard to breed. So it's taking a lot of effort to be able to get them back out into the wild. The other one, so they also have monarch butterflies. Monarch butterfly imagery is so common that a lot of people forget that they are critically endangered. They are so close to extinction. And they also tag monarch butterflies. I'm not quite sure how they do it. I mostly know about fox conservation, not butterfly conservation. But they do tag them to be able to track them and see what they're up to. This is another state-specific animal. It's the Nashville crayfish that are endangered. They are federally endangered Nashville crayfish. Now, you wouldn't believe it, but these crayfish are keystone species. And if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, a keystone species is a species vital to an ecosystem, because if they die out, then every other animal in that ecosystem also dies out. It's vital to keep the ecosystem alive. It would be a barren wasteland if they didn't exist. Ecosystems crumble without their keystone species. Nashville Zoo also has something called a pollinator garden. And pollinators, like bees, are also becoming endangered. And pollinators are super important to literally every ecosystem, because without pollinators, we don't got no plants. We eat plants. We eat a whole lot of plants. So that's bad. They have like big pollinator gardens with a bunch of diverse gardens in there to help biodiversity with plants, which plants are super, super important to literally every ecosystem. The zoo also has Puerto Rican crested toads that they are conserving. These are endangered species. They also are helping conserve giraffes, because giraffes are disappearing from the wild. They're pretty big on big cat conservation. So if you're really interested in big cat conservation, I would suggest checking out the Nashville Zoo, because they conserve a lot of different big cats, including the cheetah. The cheetahs are also pretty notorious, but they are conserving cheetahs. They especially suffer from the illegal wildlife trade. But they've also been saving those cheetahs. Now they are also working on conserving and figuring out how to treat the giant anteaters. They're actually building a huge exhibit right now for these giant anteaters, and the anthills they're building are huge, absolutely massive. I won't be putting a picture up because I will be making this video in iMovie. Why iMovie? Because I don't know how to transfer what I got on my tablet to my computer. I usually just like email little videos back and forth, but the file will be too long, and I just don't know how to transfer it any other way than email. Guess what? This is a cute little fun fact. The Nashville Zoo assisted with the first ever cross-species blood transfusion in specialized rehab for the giant anteaters. That's super cool. I didn't know that. That's actually really cool. Like a cross-species blood transfusion, and a successful one, is kind of like being able to place an artificial lung or an artificial heart in a human successfully. Like, it's huge. So, clouded leopards are super, super endangered. They're kind of like the Sierra Nevada red fox, except there are actually efforts to save the clouded leopard, where the Sierra Nevada red fox is seeing very little effort for being saved. Now, the clouded leopard, it's very difficult to keep their cubs alive. It's also very difficult to get them to breed, so conservation is very hard. But Nashville Zoo is kind of the forerunners of saving these clouded leopard species. Also, fun fact, Nashville Zoo has Highland cows. Highland cows are super cute. They are the cows with like the shaggy pelts and the hair over their eyes. They also have a red river hog. They have poodoo, which is a type of fawn. Oh, they have moon jellyfish. That's super cool. Super pretty jellyfish. They also are conserving aardwolves, which they're super hard to find out in the wild. They also help with conserving servals, like the serval cat. Those are kind of like, they're in between big cats and small cats, right? They're a little bigger than bobcats, and a little more wild too. Now, if this AI data center is built, they can say goodbye to all of their conservation efforts, especially to the more sensitive animals like the monarch butterflies and the clouded leopards. It can like seriously throw how the animals live out of balance, and they can also really easily die from pollution. So all of these amazing conservation efforts will disappear with the building of the data center, that's really bad. And if you're the type of person to think that fragile animals shouldn't be conserved, if they'll die out, then they'll die out, you shouldn't take pleasure in meaningless deaths. Even if something or someone is fragile and weak, they still deserve to live, and they still deserve to have a happy and safe life. That is just, everything should have a right to a chance to live. I do understand meaningful deaths, like eating animals to live, but just the killing of animals, even if they are fragile, is just, that's a little heartbreaking. That's a lot heartbreaking, actually. I'm glad I'm wearing this because I am crying a little. Partly because I want to rip out my uterus, but also partly because it's really sad. So there is something you can do about all of this. We don't have to lose these animals, and we don't have to watch the zoo die. Sorry, I need to take a second to compose myself. I'm crying. There is a petition you can sign. It'll be the first link below in the description. You should sign it. It takes only like 5 minutes at most to change.org. Because of the petition being signed, the data center as of the 16th has been postponed. But that's, postponement is postponement. It isn't completely not having it happen. But if enough people sign the petition, then we'll be able to stop the data center from being there forever. Signing the petition is free. It only takes a moment of your time, and it can lift a heavy weight off your shoulders. Alone, we can only do so much for change, but together, we'll be able to save these animals from being horribly polluted, and also the people there from being horribly polluted. The situation in Memphis is really bad right now. We don't want Nashville to turn out the same way. That's my 2 cents anyway. I know this was a weird video, and I know that I'm probably making the video in vain. I have very few subscribers, and I usually get like 1 or 2 views on a video. This video breaks from my usual formula because it's super long, and also I'm not using my VTuber model. You're seeing like what I have on now, and I'm not really able to convey many emotions with a mask for a face, but I know no one is probably gonna see this, and I know no one is probably gonna sign the petition because of this video, but I needed to try anyway. Gen Z, as they are currently, they're hitting rock bottom over and over again. They can't get jobs because no one wants to bother to train them. AI is also taking their jobs. I say they, but it's us, it's we. I've been actively trying for 2 years to get a job, and it's not working. So I've tried my own business, but that's not working either. So I've also tried YouTube. I also tried Twitch, and I've also tried posting my art on a bunch of different social media. But all I really am is slamming my face against the bedrock over and over and over again because I'm going nowhere. But I decided that it's now like 12:30 at night, but this is breaking news, so I thought I'd at least send it out into the void, because I'm pretty used to it. In the off chance that someone does actually see this video and I am able to actually help these animals at the zoo because of it, that makes me happy. Just the possibility. That's what I really do these videos for. It's the possibility of helping these animals. Because I really don't have anything else I can do. I can just keep reaching out into the void and hope it sticks, even if all of my chances beforehand hasn't. Maybe if I make a really clickbaity title, it'll work, but I don't know. Even if this amounts to nothing, at least I tried. And that's all we really all can do. Also, I have phonological dyslexia, so I do a lot of pauses in between sentences, so that's probably why you see a bunch of weird cuts inside sentences. It's just my dyslexia. I really struggle to say sentences, full sentences, and I'm just mental disability, So this is, I can see the runtime on the screen already. It's an hour and 30 minutes. This is going to be really difficult to edit, but I want to edit it tonight, even though it's tomorrow at this point. Because I want to get this out as soon as I can, because it's the possibility of hoping saving the zoo from the AI data center. So it's, as quickly as possible. I have a commission that I should have been working on right now, but I couldn't focus on it because of the excruciating pain in my uterus. So I did this instead, which arguably is also a lot of work, but, and if you stuck around this long, I'm not saying this for me, I am saying this for the zoo. This video will reach more people if you click the like button and if you comment something down below, even if it's gibberish, because this video will reach more people, and in turn, hopefully more people will be able to sign the petition, which is what I really want happening here, is sign the petition to not let the AI data center be built right next to the zoo. That's all I want. That's all I can hope for. I'm not making any money from this. I have 230 subscribers, right? And 1 or 2 views on all my videos, so, all I want is the data center to not be right next to an amazing zoo. Anyway, that's my argument. That's what I got. Please sign the petition. Put the petition in your group chats for your friends to sign also, just so it can circulate and get around. Not the video, the petition. Link the petition directly to your friends. You don't have to link the video directly to your friends. This video is probably dog shit, but it's the best of my ability. It's what I could do. I don't have a good mic. I'm poor. I don't have a good camera. I'm poor. That's all I can offer. See you later, freaks.